Fossils come in numerous forms and shapes, and contrary to popular belief, there's much more to fossils than just dinosaur bones buried underground. There is an immense diversity among fossils, both in the types of organisms they preserve and the fossilization process. So why are fossils important? There are many different ways to look at fossils. For the ancient Greeks and other populations, fossils were a source of inspiration, alluding to monsters and mythical creatures of lore. Fossils appear to have directly contributed to the mythology of many civilizations, but the ancient Greeks had at least some idea that fossils may belong to actual creatures. The famous Greek scholar Aristotle noted that fossil seashells from rocks were similar to those found on the beach and speculated that fossils were remains of ancient life. Our understanding of fossils improved gradually and slowly over the course of centuries, and by the time of Darwin, some naturalists supported the idea that fossils are ancient animals that lived on Earth. In fact, the fossil record was one of the key elements supporting the theory of evolution, which ended up revolutionizing biology. The famous Archaeopteryx fossil pictured above helped researchers understand how dinosaurs evolved into birds. Simply put, by studying fossils, we can understand how ancient life evolved over hundreds of millions of years to our very own species. This is a pyrite sun found in Sparta, Illinois. Pyrite suns are formed in the coal mines of Sparta at the 300-foot level on top of a coal vein. Miners in 4 mines bring them out in their lunch buckets, thus preserving what would have been destroyed in the mines. These suns are dated to 350 million years old, and some are believed to be a pyritized fossil replacement, the natural beauty lens to a variety of jewelry items. This Exagdra oyster is 130 million years old, from the Cretaceous period, found in Del Rio, Texas. They are an extinct genus of fossil marine oysters. The bivalves grew cemented by the more cupped left valve. The right valve is flatter and the beak is curved to one side. They lived on solid substrates in warm seas during the Jurassic and Cretaceous periods. Here's another oyster from the Cretaceous period. This is 100 million years old. This was found in Texas. Organisms on Earth are carbon-based. So when they die, sometimes they will leave the carbon behind and leave this impression. This is carbonization. This is carbonization of a leaf. They'll leave this impression or carbon imprint behind. If we turn it over, we go, it's an alder leaf. This is 50 million years old from Idaho. There's another leaf here. Another example of carbonization. This is a fossil fish. This is related to the herring. It lived in fresh water in Wyoming. It was deposited in a soft mud on the bottom of the lake during the Tertiary period about 50 million years ago. With the passage of time, the mud hardened into shale and the fish was changed into a fossil. This is a Nyja, an extinct genus of freshwater herring found in the Green River Formation of Wyoming in the United States. They are well known due to their extreme abundance of their fossils. This is an example of carbonization. The Nyja existed 50 to 40 million years ago during the Eocene epoch. This is a brachiopod from the Carboniferous period. This was found in China. So this is a cast of a brachiopod. Now this is compound coral. This is also mineralization. This is made out of limestone. It's 500,000 years old and was found in the Florida Keys. So this is stone, because we know corals are animals. They're living things, but this has been petrified. So it underwent mineralization, and now this is stone. This is a cephalopod, nautiloid. A current day cephalopod that you know of is a squid. This is about 400 million years old, from the Devonian period. It was found in the Atlas Mountains of Morocco. And this is mineralization. And you can see the patterns in the organisms. It's actually pretty cool. Once again, they shined it all up so they could sell it. And I have another mineralized version of this cephalopod. It's smaller. But look at the detail. It's pretty phenomenal. First, we're going to start with mineralization. So mineralization is when wood, bones, or even poop is trapped in sediment. And as the material slowly dissolves and breaks down, it's replaced by minerals to make a stone copy. So this is an example of mineralization. This is 350 million years old. It is an ammonite fossil from Morocco. And you see how it's three-dimensional. It was obviously polished on one side to make it look pretty so they could sell it. So this is our first example of mineralization. This is a perfect example of petrified wood that is 3.4 million years old. This is part of a prehistoric redwood forest that was destroyed when Mount St. Helena erupted. During the eruption, it covered all of the trees with volcanic ash, which deprived the environment of oxygen. Now, if you look at this piece of wood, this is a regular piece of wood, and you can see the differences between the regular wood and the petrified wood. The regular wood is much lighter, and the petrified wood has much more mass to it. You can also see little pieces of silica that fill the cellular spaces of the stone. During this process, the saturated water evaporated and the excess minerals were deposited in the cells and tissues, creating a three-dimensional fossil through the process of mineralization and perfectly preserving even the most minute detail of the wood. And last but not least, this is petrified dinosaur poop. Very exciting. And if you look inside, you can see the undigested material that came out in the poop. Remember, this is no longer poop. It's made out of stone. These are called coprolites. They are fossilized feces, rocky, not yucky. And last but not least, we are looking at a sample of amber under a stereoscope. Amber fossils are organisms, typically insects, preserved in the hardened resin of trees. So if we zoom in here, we can see a bug that has been trapped in this sample of amber. And you can see very tiny details about him. So this is original material because the original organism is intact inside of that hardened tree sap, which we call amber. What characteristics can you clearly see of this creature? And just so you know that I am actually looking at a sample of amber, there it is, under the stereoscope. Pretty cool, huh? And there you have it. Types of fossils and examples.